Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I just want to talk about limp mode. I know I've done a couple of videos on it, but this video is particularly on limp mode and your first experience with it. If you guys are watching these videos, doing research on it, I'm sure you guys had that first experience where it's just really kind of scary and you don't know what's wrong with your car and you think like there's some huge big transmission issue that's gotta get fixed, and you're gonna shell like a couple $1,000s at the dealership for it and stuff like that. And not surprisingly, limp mode is really a serious issue, and it's one of those issues that should worry you if you have a CVT transmission. My first experience of it personally was I was going about, I don't know, 80 miles per hour for a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes on the furthest left lane on the freeway, and I was pretty far away from home. I was going from one state to another. I was heading out to Philadelphia from New York, and somewhere along the line my car just stopped accelerating, and some of those roads were kind of hilly. And my first thought on my mind was maybe it's just me experiencing, you know, maybe it was just a hill and it's not accelerating because it's going up an incline. But when it started happening and you know, the further it went, the more I realized it's not the incline. It's actually there's something wrong with the transmission. It's not accelerating. So I kept on pressing my foot on the accelerator, hoping that it would speed up, until my foot was all the way down on the accelerator and it would not go any faster. In fact, it started decelerating to 60, 50 miles per hour, I think. Cars were going by, and first thought on my mind was, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm on the furthest left lane on the freeway. There's cars zipping by me, and I'm having car trouble right now. Should I pull over? Because I've never experienced this before. I don't know what it is. First thought on my mind is I'm gonna have to get a tow all the way back to New York because there's a transmission issue, and I would probably have to replace the transmission on my car because it felt like the gear was slipping and it wouldn't go up in gear. So I'm pretty sure that's not an uncommon experience for a lot of people who are on limp mode. It's not one of those things where you're driving like 30 miles per hour on a regular street and all of a sudden your car, goes into a limp mode or safe mode. Most of the time, it's a pretty kind of dangerous situation because you are driving your car going pretty fast, probably 75, 80 miles per hour, and at some point, if you're going that fast, you're probably on the first left lane on the freeway. And it's a scary situation because there's a car going by you and you're either thinking to yourself, all right, situation is pretty bad, I'm gonna have to find a way to pull over and hope that it doesn't die on me before I get to the next ramp. And you're gonna try and finding that next ramp is a worrying situation. And I'm sure these limp mode, safe mode situations are pretty much the same exact situation. And that's probably the reason why you guys are looking up these videos on here. And I've commented on my previous videos how limp mode is not only a scary situation, it's just one of those situations that's not common to mechanics and stuff like that, unfortunately. Funny how CVT transmissions have been around for, I don't know, 10 years or so, and me explaining this to a mechanic, like the symptoms of it, gets me weird looks from people and stuff like that, from mechanics and people who work on cars and stuff like that. So that's the situation. And a situation like that, I think that this whole limp mode, safe mode on CVT transmission should be like a warning that gets put on like the hood of your car or the manual that comes with the car, the very first page of it, because a lot of people actually don't know what it is if they've actually never experienced it or never looked it up or never actually researched on it. So that's just my experience on it, and this video is pretty much on how unsafe it is. It amazes me that this actually exists. It amazed me when I found out that it existed as a computerized transmission system, and this safe mode actually existed on the transmission. And in my personal thought on it, it's one of those things that's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of unsafe. I mean, it does, if you know, it exists to prevent further damage to your transmission if the computer detects issues with your car, particularly with your transmission. But my personal thought on it is, it's kind of a tricky thing, considering when limp mode and safe mode gets initiated, and a lot of times it gets initiated when you are driving your fastest on the road, or your longest, or when you're on the very furthest left lane of your car. So I don't know whether I don't know if there's been accidents because of it, or if it's just one of those things where I don't know really. You know, it's like one of those things where if I think about it, it's like a safety issue. Yes, it exists to protect your car from further damage, but then on the other hand, you know, you're considering that it only comes on when you're going, you know, at great speeds, where your transmission oil is overheating and stuff like that. You know, it's just one of those things where, yeah, you know, it just perplexes me why it's not more of a known thing, or more of one of those things that should be